189 not out, off 170 balls, against England at Old Trafford in 1984, with no helmet, no forearm guard, chewing gum like the bowlers were an inconvenience. That innings is still the highest score by a man batting at number 3 in a one-day international, 40 years on. How did a boy from a tiny island of 80,000 people walk out against the fastest bowlers on earth wearing only a maroon cap and make them look ordinary? The answer starts with a promise he made to his father in a prison yard, and it is not what you think. In the next few minutes, you will see the ball that made Dennis Lillee stop mid-over, the 6 that silenced Lords, and moment number 2, the night in Australia that nearly ended his career before it began. If you love cricket's greatest stories told like cinema, subscribe now. New legends every week on Cricket Chronicles, because the king is about to walk out to bat. Chapter 1. Antigua, 1952. Isaac Vivian Alexander Richards is born in the village of St. John's, the son of Malcolm Richards, a fast bowler and a prison warder at Her Majesty's prison. The Richards boys grow up inside the shadow of that jail. Malcolm bowls to his sons in the yard, and the rule is simple. If you flinch, you go back inside. Viv does not flinch. By the age of 13, he is playing men's cricket. By 14, he is banned from a local match for standing his ground after being given out, a protest so long the umpires walk off. He is suspended for 2 years. 2 years without cricket. When he returns, something inside him has hardened into stone. Chapter 2. The Apprenticeship in Somerset. In 1974, Viv Richards arrives in England to play for Somerset, sharing a flat with a lanky Welshman named Ian Botham. They cook curries, they argue, they laugh until dawn, and they become brothers for life. On the county circuit, Richards is already unlike anything English cricket has seen. He does not defend, he does not duck, he walks down the pitch at seam bowlers and drives them back over their heads. But the world stage is still waiting, and the world stage in 1975 means Australia. Chapter 3. The tour that almost broke him. 1975-76, the West Indies Tour, Australia. Dennis Lillee and Jeff Thomson are the fastest opening pair the game has ever seen. Thomson bowls at speeds later clocked beyond 160 kilometers per hour. There are no helmets, there are no chest guards worth the name, and Viv Richards, the young prince from Antigua, is dismantled. He averages under 20 in the first 3 tests. The Australian press call him a flat-track bully. Clive Lloyd considers dropping him. In the dressing room at Perth, Richards sits with his head in his hands and questions everything. That was moment number 2, the night that nearly ended him. What he did next rewrote cricket history. He asked to be moved up the order, to number 3, to face the new ball head-on. And in the 5th test at Adelaide, he scored 30 and 101. In the 6th at Melbourne, 98 and 50, the bully had become the king. Chapter 4. The Year of the Master, 1976. Viv Richards scores 1,710 test runs in a single calendar year, a record that stands untouched for nearly 3 decades. Against England that summer, he makes 232 at Trent Bridge, 135 at Old Trafford, 291 at the Oval. 291. Off 286 balls. Tony Greig, the England captain, had said before the series he would make the West Indians grovel. Richards made him eat every syllable in front of a packed Kennington crowd waving Caribbean flags. It was no longer a cricket series. It was a reckoning. Chapter 5. The Helmet He Refused. By the late 1970s, almost every top batter in the world had begun wearing a helmet. Sunil Gavaskar wore a skull cap. Graham Gooch wore a full grill. Even Viv's own teammate Gordon Greenidge protected his head. Richards refused. He walked out in the maroon cap of the West Indies, sometimes with a wide-brimmed sun hat, chewing gum, rolling his shoulders. He said the helmet was a psychological gift to the bowler. If they see you are afraid, he told a young Richie Richardson, they own you. He faced Lillee Thompson, Imran Khan, Bob Willis, Richard Hadley, and Kapil Dev, all without a helmet, and he was never seriously struck on the head in international cricket. Not once. Chapter 6. The World Cup Final of '83 and the Redemption of '84. In 1983 at Lords, Richards mishits a simple pull to mid-wicket. Kapil Dev runs 20 meters over his shoulder and catches it. India beat the West Indies. Viv walks off in silence. Some say he never truly recovered from that moment. But the following summer at Old Trafford, England reduced the West Indies to 166 for 9, chasing nothing in particular. Richards is stranded with the tail. What follows is the innings promised at the top of this story. 189 not out. He farms the strike. He clears the ropes. He treats Bob Willis and Ian Botham, his own brother, like club bowlers. Michael Holding, watching from the balcony, later said it was the greatest one-day innings ever played, and no one has argued since. Chapter 7. The Captain, the Legacy, the Silence. Viv Richards captained the West Indies in 50 test matches. He never lost a single test series. Not one. From 1980 until his retirement in 1991, the West Indies did not lose. He finished with 8,540 test runs at an average of 50.23 and 6,721 one-day runs at an average of 47. But numbers were never the point. The point was the walk to the wicket. The point was the cap. The point was a black man from a small colonial island staring down the empire and never blinking. If this story moved you, hit subscribe and ring the bell. Every week on Cricket Chronicles, we bring a legend back to life. Tell us in the comments, was Viv Richards the most fearless batter who ever lived?